Hello and welcome to Component Carousel, the show where we make components around a theme, have phenomenal developers on, and we have a lot of fun learning something new. So today we have Andrew Rubin on. Andy, how you doing?
Hey, good. I'm just getting over a heat wave here in BC, Canada. So
Yeah.
if I start sweating crazily in this developer cave of mine, just don't bother. Don't worry about
Yeah, no,
it.
I've got a filter where everyone already looks sweaty, so they're not going to notice a difference. I put
Awesome.
that on up front. It's going to be fine. It'll be all good. Yeah, no, but if your keyboard starts to melt and you get like the sticky keys thing, and it just starts coming up with your fingers, it might be a problem. But we'll see what we can do. But yeah,
Okay, sounds good.
the heat wave is not great. Oh, and I need to fix the Notion checklist because it says that we're already done 2 of the steps. We're not. We just started. Don't worry, chat. Relax. But chat, we have a lot of great people here already. We got Christopher's here, Samuel's here, Xander, Ben, and Christopher. You just tested out the new thing. Ben actually linked me to a script that he wrote that lets us get emojis in the chat, and I just put it in. That's why I had all those tests above in the chat. That's why you see my photos, because I wanted to test that out. Ben, thank you so much for that code. Is this the first standing
Nice.
guest? I think you are. Yeah, Andy was like, I want to break
Oh
a
man.
record. I want to come in and I want to be known for something. And I'm like, just stand up. It's still a new show. You can break glass ceilings just by standing on the show. So yeah, Ben,
Man,
I
the
super
standing
appreciate
guest,
it. Anthony,
absolute game
welcome.
changer.
Yeah, so Andy, you're rocking some sweet tats, and we're gonna be working on some metal stuff. Like you are, it's gonna be great. Do you want to break down a little bit of kind of what we're gonna be working on today? Just kind of
Yeah.
explain the concept, and let me know if you want me to bring up anything yet. But like, let's just kind of talk to the audience and let them know like, here's what we're in for, because it's gonna be really really cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a weird one, and I think it's very experimental,
You're on the
which is
right show.
awesome.
You're on the right show, man.
Yeah,
That's what we do
exactly.
here.
Yeah, this is a cool one in that like I kind of had the idea and didn't know if it could be done. Um, so it was a learning experience for me as well. So hopefully we can all gain something from each other on this. But basically, the idea is we're going to take these pre-drawn SVG characters that I made, and we're just going to animate them. And since it's metal, they're going to be headbanging, you know.
Nice, perfect.
Uh, and we're going to use green sock for this, which, as you all probably know, just makes everything super, super easy to work with.
It's a fantastic animation library. If you haven't tried it out, yeah, it makes this kind of thing so much easier. I couldn't imagine doing what you're about to do with CSS animations or could you? You could maybe
No,
no, it
I
has
don't
to have
know,
JavaScript.
man.
Yeah, I don't think so. I wouldn't want to be
Yeah,
that person. Is all I'm saying. Jamie Coulter might be able to pull
yeah.
it off or something with his CSS insanity, but nah, we're going with green
Right.
sock.
So cool. So traditionally in animation, the input is time, right? And time determines your sort of progress along your animation timeline, let's call it. But my idea here was, okay, what if the input isn't time? What if the input is audio?
Right.
And so what we're going to do is we have like a backing track that I've set up, at a specific tempo. And then we have let's call it an invisible or an inaudible, like a map track that's at that same tempo. And kind of, it's just one gigantic, really annoying frequency. And we, in like Logic or Pro Tools or whatever, you automate the volume to however you want.
Do you want me to
And
bring up
that
that
then,
slide that you put together? Would
sure.
that be helpful here? Because it sounds like you're kind of getting
Yeah.
into that stuff. Let me transition over. Fancy little stinger. There we go. Cool.
Cool.
So we've got this. Thank you, Google. We've got that. Help to present.
So,
There we go. Cool. Is this?
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So this was I just screenshotted my kind of setup so you can
Yeah.
see it. The top track is a music track. Don't worry about the offset, how one starts later than the other.
It's all
But
good.
top track is a music track. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. We added the confetti yesterday. It's very fun. If you hit exclamation mark yay and any emoji, the Slack emojis don't work yet, like the Slack emotes, but other stuff does. So have fun with that chat. Anyway.
I mean, the more like metal emoji you can
Yeah,
send us, the
absolutely.
better.
We're
I
gonna get
think here.
burgers and guitars. It's perfect. So,
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Oh, look at
So,
that. Okay, so yeah, so back on this slide, the top track is the audio, the bottom track is this just like, you know, constant frequency that I'm outputting.
right.
And if you go to the next slide, you can kind of see what I was talking about there. This is the what's called automation data,
Okay.
specifically for the volume or the gain of this track. So it starts more or less near zero, kind of does like a ease into the one, into the max, and then kind of eases back out. And that data, if we read that data using the web audio API, we can map whatever they give us to a value between 0 and 1, and then pass that as our progress to our green sock timeline.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't know audio stuff pretty much at all, so this is all new to me, and just a lot of fun. That's
Oh
awesome.
God, eggplant confetti.
Yeah, that's the one. Liam, Liam.
Do you get banned for that?
Liam comes in. Isn't Liam like your boss or your manager or something?
Yep.
He just did that to you on stream. I think you got a pretty juicy lawsuit there, Andy.
Company culture. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's a great company. We the Collective, the agency that both Liam and Andy are at, make incredible stuff. Fantastic people. I want to shout them out. Yeah, because you're the second person from We the Collective to come on. You guys just make really, really cool stuff. So let's continue making cool stuff. Is there a next slide we want to hit? Yeah. So
I don't know. Let's see. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay. So this was just an example of another possible, maybe a more linear automation that we could do. We're not going to use it, but just so you can see, like, yeah.
So just my understanding, like as we go through, because we've added these points, this would be the beginning of the animation, and this is going to be the end of the animation, and this is like an ease along the way. Okay,
Exactly.
so like, so you said the characters are going to be like headbanging, right? So it's like the animation's going to go from this to this, and then it's going to go backwards, so the animation goes back to start, right? So start, end, right? And so for this, it would be start, and then go up, and then end, and then start, end. Am I kind of getting that right approximately?
That is exactly right.
Awesome. Cool. Just want to make sure that I'm understanding it so that we're all understanding it. So what is this futuristic UI that I'm looking at? This looks like
this was
like
a
Captain,
slide.
The aliens have hacked our mainframe.
Yeah. Very Minority Report.
Yeah,
here.
right. So what is this?
This is kind of a throwaway slide. We don't need it. I had to do a bit of a refactor this morning.
Good. Do we want to just keep going?
Sure. That one there is my final screenshot, just to show you that this is not just make it and it works. I definitely
got it. So there was some tweaking here. Got it. So don't try this at home unless you're at Andy's home. Then that's the one place you can do it. The one place. But no. So basically,
feel free to come over and try it.
A good amount of the upfront work was done in the actual audio files. Is kind of what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. I think the most, and we could probably do this with like an oscillator, it's called. Like in the web audio API, you can make instruments and output sound. I'm sure there's a way to on the fly like make an annoying frequency like we're gonna hear and automate that. But I just figured it was easiest to just use an audio file.
Got it. So Xander, who is another person that I know is super into audio. Like if I have audio questions, he's definitely one of my go-tos. Xander asks, "Isn't this how CV clocks work? Do you know what that is? Because I have no. Is it like a resume clock, Xander? If because I'm familiar with those. I don't know about the clock part of a resume, but yeah, I'm not sure. But I would love to hear because maybe you've got like a a different approach to this kind of thing. Oh, and yeah, Naren, what Ben said is exactly right. There's still a 2-second cooldown on the confetti. I meant to drop that, but didn't get to it. So cool. Do we want to hop over to the code pen that we have set up for kind of like the code overview here?
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet.
So great. So we're kind of just starting with blank canvas for the most part.
Okay.
I've got this ridiculously long SVG in there.
Yeah, so you've got 3 SVGs in here, kind of, right?
Yeah. It's one SVG, and then there are 3 groups. There's
Got it.
fries, burger, and drink.
Nice.
And right now in the CSS, I just have them display none, but you can, if you want, just untoggle them.
Because there's someone out there going, this isn't cool. I'm gonna leave. So let's let that person know, like, no. This is just you sit back down, person who is about to leave. Because these are the characters that we're animating, everyone. Look at these. Where are these from, Andy?
I made them.
That, like,
I mean, they're quite overtly inspired by Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, I totally got the inspiration, but this, yeah. No, and I loved it. Like, look at these. Chat. He drew that. Yeah. As soon as you showed me like the first one, I saw the drink a couple days ago, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and it only gets better when you Aqua Teen Hunger Force. When you add the animations, it's only getting better. So like, chat, this is where we're starting from. Just sit back down, all right? Just relax. You got time. All right.
Calm down. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, like that part was a ton of work. Like that's where the most time was spent. Was like,
I can imagine,
sketching that out and like inking that in Illustrator.
Yep. No,
and then rigging. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Yeah. Just gonna say I was gonna keep saying the same thing, Andy. I'm interrupting you to say this is cool. This is super cool, because that's all my baby brain understands is, wow, this is so cool. So you continue to give us the good information. I'll try to keep baby brain under control.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. So that was the majority of the work, I think, and then the biggest, let's just call it a headache, even though it was sort of fun, was rigging them up for animation. So like, okay, if French Fries is gonna headbang, like the guitar has to rotate down, his hands have to move, or her hands. The fries in the head need to like tweak or shake or whatever. So that was definitely a process in itself. But whatever, that's all done for you guys. That's here.
Awesome.
So we can now get started.
So yeah, so with our setup, just so we can kind of see, we've got that big SVG, and for some reason, I think because it's so big, we can't tuck it away. I think that's like, usually with CodePen, you can fold things in, or maybe I'm just thinking of CSS, but we're not able to fold it in, so I can't like get past the SVG. But we've got some
maybe it's because I'm
stop.
using Pug.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like it's still
like, I wonder if you viewed.
I'm not sure. I don't know, but it's not a big deal. But the controls, we got a button up top for start stop. And then that's pretty much it, right? We got like a background, or is that part of the SVG? No, yeah, that's part of the SVG. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get. It's actually not. I'm gonna get a lot of flack from the SVG people here, but I've just set a linear gradient as the background on the SVG.
Yeah, you've just been uninvited from so many conferences.
Yeah.
All good. Cool. So just a little bit of CSS, and then should I hide these characters again?
So what I think we'll do, what are we gonna do first? Our steps are set up audio sources. Okay, so we can leave them for now. I think what we'll do is we'll deal with analyzing all the audio first, and then I think for time's sake, we'll hide maybe the fries and the burger and just like focus in on the drink and animate that afterwards.
Awesome.
Okay. So
do you want to hide the fries and burger now? Is what you're saying?
No, it's all good. Okay. Doesn't matter.
Cool. So where do we want to head first? We kind of did our little review of the concept. We need to set up audio sources, it looks like.
Yeah, so the audio setup, all the variables here. So we need to just define a few things. In the Web Audio API, you need an audio context, just like if you were working with a canvas, you would need a canvas context. So we'll we'll declare that up top. We'll just say like const audio context. And let's, we got to do a little bit of cross-browser compatibility stuff. So we're basically going to define the audio context object here if it's not found. So let's just make that just as a convention, the variable audio context, if you just capitalize the A.
Got it. Sounds good.
Awesome. Equals either window.audio context, which, so if it exists, great, set it to that. Also capitalized on the A.
Ah, good call. Thank you for that.
And then for our best friend, Safari, we need to or window.webkit audio context.
Oh, not window.close?
Huzzah, yeah, nice.
That'd be amazing.
And we don't want the W to be uppercase on that.
Ah, thank you. Oh, nope. There we go.
Perfect.
Cool. All right, nice.
Okay, cool. So now whenever we refer to our audio context variable, it should always be defined.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. So next thing we'll just, and this is just more basic setup, but we just need a reference to our start and stop button. So let's just call it, let's call it start stop button or play button, whatever you like. Perfect. And that's just document query selector start stop is the class name, start dash stop.
Cool. All right. So you grab that.
Excellent. And we'll set up, we'll instantiate the audio context. So the next variable we need is CTX or audio CTX might be good. Perfect. And that's just a new audio context.
All right. New.
Perfect.
Cool.
Awesome. And so I don't even know if it's worth mentioning this. We had a bit of a scramble this morning because I was using all this fancy web audio stuff to like create audio array buffers and all this stuff I had never heard of, but that due to my misunderstanding of the API, I thought was necessary.
Yeah, it's all good.
So big shout out to you, Alex, and Jamie Coulter for just helping out this morning. I basically refactored this entire thing to use actual HTML audio elements that are just never appended to the DOM. So
yeah, there was some funkiness because you had it working perfectly on your computer, but then on mine and Jamie's it wasn't working. So like there was some weird stuff going on with just the way that API was working. So not at all on you. It was very much a like it works on my machine thing with my audio drivers and that kind of thing. And MP3 worked, but WAV files didn't. Like there was a lot of like funky stuff that I can't at all hold against you. So like I'm just, you know, I'm glad you got it working. So it's all good, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I think it seems to be hardware dependent.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And so it'd be like I played it from my laptop speakers, worked great. Plug some headphones into those, didn't work at all. So
was that audio buffer method, but with this method, it should be stable as a table.
I like that.
Knocking on wood. Yeah, there you go. Cool. So
sweet. So we'll make those audio elements now. So we'll just let's just make a couple of variables. We'll call it input element or input L and music L, and those will just be new audio.
Okay, so new audio, just like that. Okay, cool. And then is that
yeah, like and that? that's the object behind the HTML audio element.
So we need two of those like that.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And so from now on, like when I refer to input, I'm talking about our frequency thing with the automated volume. And when I'm talking about oh, sorry, I didn't mean for you to call that audio L. Let's rename the second one to music L.
Okay, cool.
Just so it makes a little bit more sense. So that when I refer to music, we're talking about the track that's the actual music that we're going to hear, right?
Awesome. Yep.
Sweet. Let's make a little array with the references to the samples that we're actually going to load up. So this is just going to be an array. We can call it samples, and it'll just contain 2 items. Here, I guess I got to send you these.
Yeah, paste those over. if you don't mind. I think I've got them somewhere. I might have on a previous version of the pen. Cool. I
That's
like
all right.
your
That's
naming
first
convention.
one.
Yep. So we've got horrible noise and not horrible noise.
So horrible noise is this horrible
It is a
frequency
horrible
that
noise,
we're,
and for a while I
yeah.
was wondering, oh, you're not allowed to fork a private pen. Shoot. Okay, right.
Should I?
If you can make it
I can
public,
make it public.
yeah, that'd be helpful. I don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna be too much of a problem for the next hour or so. For you getting drowned in like this is broken. But to Naren's, to your question, Naren, that SVG file is pretty much entirely hand drawn in Illustrator. I don't think he coded any of it.
Yeah.
Because those lines and everything would be very tough to kind of approximate. Like at most, I can do like circles or like those kinds of shapes. But in terms of this sort of thing, I don't know anyone who could kind of code and understand the way that path was going to move in kind of a natural way. Yeah.
Honestly, the Wacom tablet for the win, like you can use the pressure sensitive pen, and like your stroke width changes based on the amount of pressure you apply. Like it's so good. The only reason it needs to be SVG obviously is so that we can use it in the web.
It makes sense. Yeah. Otherwise, you just raster that bad boy. But yeah, so that we can animate it here, that makes it a lot easier. Cool. So we've got our music.
Totally.
And now what's up?
And did that work? The public?
Let me see. I didn't try again. Yep.
I don't know what threw that error in the first place.
The fact that I tried to save it was the issue. So now it's my own personal private pen. So I tried to fork it by saving it. So cool. We're good to go.
Sweet. So we've got the samples in there. Cool. Now what we want to do is create what's called an audio analyzer. Okay. And so the way the web audio API works is there's kind of like a signal chain. If you've ever played guitar or bass or something, you've got like a pedal board. Your guitar goes into the tuner pedal, and then it goes into the distortion pedal, and then the whatever, and then into the amp. So we sort of simulate that here. Okay. So what we're going to do is create a node for the signal chain, which is going to be this analyzer. Cool. So we can just const analyzer. And this is going to equal. This is a weird one. It's actually, I don't know why they always choose the English spelling with the S, but you can name your variable however you are comfortable. And this is audio CTX dot create analyzer.
Did I name it audio? Yeah, lowercase audio. Dot analyzer?
Create analyzer, and create analyzer will have an S. There you go. Awesome. Cool. And that's lowercase.
The C?
Yeah.
Got it. My fault. Cool. All right, so we got our analyzer.
Good. Okay. There's a few variables I've got here, which I'll kind of leave that till later. Okay, so now we'll connect our audio elements to our audio context. Okay. So we'll make yet another two variables. We'll call them input source and music source. And those will both be equal to audio CTX. And this is a long one. Create media element source. And we'll pass in the element for the input. So input L.
Cool. And then this one doing music.
So now our sources, each of these sources are also nodes in the signal chain now.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so once we initialize all this code, we have to like link each of these things up. Like, oh, okay, cool. So, audio source is linked to volume control, is linked to users' speakers, that sort of thing.
Are we kind of doing one of those like plug and play boards or what's that called? That kind of a board thing where you can plug this and then wire it into that and then wire that into this. Xander, do you know what I'm talking about? Where like you can do like a synthesizer board or something, and it's got just a whole bunch of holes in it. Even like apps like Reason or something, they like simulate it with like a virtual one of these. It's just a bunch of holes, and you can be like, I want to wire this thing into that input and output or whatever. I'm not making any sense.
Isn't that just like an OG synthesizer?
pretty much. Bop it.
Or
Thank
maybe
you, Anthony.
I have no
No,
idea.
I was thinking of bop it. Thanks, Anthony. That's exactly it. Yeah. The thing you twist.
Ooh,
Yeah, no. And that's
who's
Ryan
Hexagon
Mulligan.
Circle? Thank
That's
you for
that's
the
that's
for
Ryan Mulligan is
nice.
Hexagon Circle.
Yeah.
Patch boards. That's what. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyway, so that's what this feels like. Where like you're kind of taking this source, this like input, you're wiring it into the distortion thing as you were saying, and then you're wiring that into your output, and like it's kind of like a code version of a very physical thing that they've done for a long time. Oh no, you're starting to go wonky on me. This happened last time with Jamie. Yeah, you know exactly how to fix it. So yeah, you might have to just do that from time to time. It's just the compression stuff with OBS
Fair
Ninja.
enough.
I've got to find a better way to do it. I keep searching for something. All right, cool. We are good to go. Let's keep rolling. We are at 30 minutes. So
Okay,
make sure
sweet.
we get some good stuff in here.
Woo. Yeah, time flies when you're doing nodes.
Yeah.
Okay, so a few more variables, and then we can finally actually do something.
Sounds good.
We'll make a few lets here. We're gonna say let data array. We're not gonna bind it to anything. We're just gonna declare it. Music start offset and playing. Cool. We'll get back to what those do later.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. So let's make a function where we're going to set up the analyzer for analyzing, for analysis.
Cool. So want to make it in this comment here, or I guess I should have put these variables under that, right? So did you want these in here?
Oh yeah, perfect.
In there. Cool. So then just a function here.
Yep, function there, and awesome. we can call it whatever we want. Let's call it setup analyzer.
I'm gonna stick with the British spelling. Apparently, I forgot that was the British spelling. But to my viewers in merry old England across the pond, you're welcome. Now you can understand what's going on. Otherwise, would have been chaos. All right, so we got setup analyzer.
Cool. So what we have to do here is we're going to start dealing with some JavaScript typed arrays, which are basically optimized arrays that you can use in JavaScript that only accept a very specific type of data, just because it's a lot faster for the things that we need to do.
Got it.
So first, let's just set up a. We don't even need to set up a variable. Let's set that data array let that we made. We'll say data array equals new uint8 array. So that's capital U and then capital int.
That right there?
That's perfect.
Cool.
Oh, sorry. The I has to be capital as well.
Oh, weird. Are you
like
sure?
The ongoing struggle figuring out the camel
they're
case.
autocomplete.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I mean,
sorry.
I'm not right. It's CodePen completely, but yeah, cool. New uint8 array. Got it.
Sweet. And then what we're going to pass into that that constructor function is analyzer dot frequency bin count.
Bin
and that's all
like
camel
that?
case. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. And so what that is when you have an audio analyzer, this is overly complex and beyond my understanding, but it uses an algorithm called fast Fourier transform to figure out the data for each of these frequencies.
Got it.
And the frequency bin count is how many frequencies that array or that analyzer has. And just by default, that's 1024.
Okay.
And 1024 is the size of that FFT algorithm that's used to create this. So don't ask anything about that because I don't know.
That's
but
fine.
It's
yeah,
all
we
good.
can just gloss over that bit.
Yeah, just trying to give context.
Yeah, so that's a data array about. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on that. Got it. All right, what's next?
And then just right after that, we're just gonna analyzer dot get byte frequency data. And then we'll pass in data array.
All right.
Cool. And so get byte frequency data, you give it that uint8 array, and it returns you, or it doesn't return, it updates the values in data array to, whatever the most current frequency data is. So what we'll do is when we're animating, we'll call that same line on every frame.
Okay. Cool.
Sweet. Okay, so we've set that up. Let's.
Cool.
I guess let's make a load samples function. Let's just pop in
We've got
function
this,
loads. Oh, I've got it. Oh, there you
but,
go. So let's not make that.
But we can talk about it. So input out cross origin is anonymous.
Yep, and that's just because we're on CodePen and it's
sounds good.
Necessary, I guess.
No rules. Love it. Input out loop, so we're just looping. And then this is just what's the source of it? Sample 0, samples 1, which is our sample here.
Yeah, I guess I probably didn't need to. We probably didn't need to make samples in array. We could have just directly referenced those URLs, but that's exactly what it's doing.
It's tidy. It's fine.
Cool.
All right. Now what?
So, and then, after those sources are set, we're calling init, which I'm not sure if I have an init function in the starter. But if we don't
yet, we should make one.
Yeah. Okay. Let's make it.
Oh, here we go. Function render if playing. Okay, cool. So that's just the render loop. So we want to make an init.
Yeah. Excellent.
Cool. All right. What happens in init?
Okay. So now we're going to make going to make a few gain nodes. So this is the more of those steps in the signal chain to adjust the gain, which is volume in English. You know what? Let's put those at the top, back with all our other consts, just because these don't need to happen on the fly. And we'll just scroll up to the top of that. Oh, sorry, the init function's all good. Just these variables we're defining.
I gotcha. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So
and we can do it anywhere, under the sources. Perfect. We'll just say const input gain node. And that'll be equal to audio ctx dot create gain. And that's a function. Cool. And we'll do the same for our music gain node.
All right. So that's just going to handle the volume for the input and for the music.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Exactly. So, okay, cool. Sorry about that. Forgot about that. Let's go to our init, and then what we'll do is link everything up.
Awesome.
So from the get-go, I haven't even played you these samples. Let's just so everybody understands.
Should we go ahead and give them the tease? Because someone might be like, this music's not even going to be cool. Now, where's this music from, Andy?
This is pulled from the archives, man. I used to be in a band, and this was like an unused riff. It's just programmed drums and some guitars.
I just want to make sure, because your audio source and... Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. So you're basically coming into the same thing as Chrome into OBS. I just want to make sure that people aren't getting their eardrums bled out without permission. I mean, I know that's half the thing of metal, but we want to make sure that...
Come on. Yeah. Not
so this is... Yeah, that's fine. So they can hear it, though, so... Okay, I'm realizing a flaw in this whole streaming thing where you can't hear the music that you're programming to. We'll work it out. Right. Worst comes to worst, I hold up my headphones.
I'm 60% certain that this will work, so we'll just go with that.
That works for me. Yeah, so that's from your old band or your current band? Is that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I wish I were in a band these days.
So Andy essentially made the graphics, made the music, and is now going to animate both together. Chat. That's where I'm just like, super, super cool. And El Evidente, you missed a little bit, but basically Andy drew these, and we're going to be animating them to that music that you just heard. So you're coming in at the perfect time. So we've got our audio nodes set up. So now, do we want to do something in it?
Real quick, let me just ask you to play the horrible noise.mp3 because that's important as well.
Yeah, it's not great, chat, so I'm going to turn it down a good amount. It's not. I mean, he wasn't lying when he named it this. So yeah, I'm just giving you a taste because I'm not going to do that. So they heard it. Chat, can you confirm that you heard that, so that Andy doesn't make me play it for you again? I'm pretty sure there's a mind control aspect to this. I think this is Andy's way of starting a an evil villain kind of thing. Oh yeah. So okay, confirmed horrible. Yep, they confirm it is horrible. Hope that wasn't too loud, chat. I apologize if it was. That's totally on me. Cool. So they heard it. Their ears are bleeding. Half of them are
Perfect.
weeping.
This is the goal.
Some report that they're in the fetal position. Yep, Tony, that's normal. Yep, cool. All right, so in it, we're
Perfect.
we're good to roll.
In it. Okay, let's set some values for our gain. So because that noise is so horrible, we're gonna mute it the
Awesome.
whole time. So we'll take that input gain node that we just defined up there, and we'll just say input gain dot value. Input gain dot value.
So input gain dot gain.
Apologies. Input gain node.
Okay.
So exactly how you had it.
Got it. Cool. Dot gain dot value. Okay. Cool. That's okay. Equals 0.
Equals 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
So chat, basically, Andy just wanted to say, I'm a hero. Look what I'm saving you from. So he wanted me to play it for you to see, like, I could put you through this, but I'm not going to because I'm a good person. So, it's
exactly.
It's the setup. I could hurt you.
Well, apparently Leah couldn't hear it anyway, according to the chat. So lucky you.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, wait. Yep. Or no, she said yes. I don't know. Anyway.
No. Sorry. Because of the doctor comment. I don't know if the chat's delayed.
Got it. Okay, cool. No, it should be about good.
I'm the same way. I have like perpetual tinnitus. It's horrible.
Oh, jeez, man.
Okay, right. Cool. So we've done that. Music gain node. Awesome. We'll just set that to 1.
Cool.
I'm guessing that's the default, but we'll be explicit about it.
Sounds good.
Cool. And then I think we'll just call that setup analyzer function that we made. Just kind of wanted to abstract away some of that stuff because it's not super pretty. Oh,
I'm like, how did that happen on my stream? Okay, I was just like, oh no. Cool.
Cool. So, okay, now we're going to do the actual hooking up of all these nodes. So first thing we'll do after setting up the analyzer is we will take the input source and we will .connect analyzer. And that's our analyzer variable. Yeah. Perfect.
Input source. What's that? Okay, so that's that. Input source. Got it. Cool. I'm trying to keep it all together in my head. So input source connect to the analyzer. Got it. Okay, so this is us plugging the input source, that horrible noise, into our analyzer, right? So we're wiring that in. Got it.
And then we'll take our analyzer and plug that into our input gain node.
Okay. Got it. So
analyzer.connect.
So it's the same function.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right.
Sweet. So we'll leave that as is for now. There's still one more step. We have to connect it to the user's output, but we'll do that in a minute.
Interesting.
And then, so those 2 lines are just, those 3 lines, I guess, are just for the horrible noise input, which is what we'll animate to. So let's skip a line and just do similar thing. We'll do music source.connect music gain node. So we're skipping the analyzer step because we don't want to actually analyze the music itself, because the problem with doing that is like there's no reliable frequency that you can count on to normalize for an animation, right? So that's why we needed this horrible noise that's always consistent.
Got it. Okay, now that's clicking for me. So if I can reiterate it, because it might not be clicking for the chat. Or if I'm the slowest one in the room, that's awesome. So basically, we aren't using, to go back to your thing, we're not using this because this would essentially have them like kind of just like doing weird motions, not really on beat, but just kind of like at like the 50% mark and like going back and forth between like 50 and 52% in the animation, and not doing the full head banging from 0 to 100, 0 to 100. So we're using a more like artificial thing where you're going in and you're setting these waves on that one so that they're head banging on that, and you're matching that to the real music. So you've got these 2 tracks.
That's exactly it.
Got it. Okay, I kind of got this, but didn't get why we weren't doing the other one. Okay, so it's syncing it to the audio API with a cleaned up track. You're kind of stripping away all the other noise because like it wouldn't be able to take out the guitar riffs and everything else, and we just want the beat that they're headbanging
Yeah.
on. Got it.
And
Awesome.
like if you had a much simpler music track, you might be able to get away with
Right.
not
If
doing
it
it
was like
this
just
way, but
drums, it
like
would probably work pretty
I
well.
mean, even just drums might be
Oh,
iffy.
really?
Like if we had just snare hits, you would at least get like a very
That's
cut and dry
yeah, that's most of
waveform,
the
you know.
music I
But
listen to.
yeah,
That's
just
yeah, that's my favorite genre. Just one instrument. I
yeah,
mean, any more than that, and you're showing off. To be honest, just
yeah.
proving.
So
Oh,
I
I
don't know.
have
I think
friends. Like, all right, just
yeah.
yeah, one
Going to the
instrument.
snare hit show. Um, I don't know. Yeah, this was just kind of the only way that I could think to reliably animate something to music. Um,
Zach
so
Saucier, who's actually coming on in 2 weeks. I'm super excited. In the chat says could try transforming it, multiply with clamp or something along those lines. Interesting. It would be cool to see if like after this, people are like, I've got an idea for this. I've got an idea, like
yeah,
to take it further or just to do it in a different way. But this is awesome. Let's
100%. Like
let's
I don't mean to keep dragging things along, but like this is very much the wild west of web development.
yeah.
Like there is very little support out there on the web audio API, and like doing things like this.
You
You can read the spec and you can read
yeah.
MDN and you can read Stack Overflow, but it's a lot of experimentation.
Oh yeah, you'd be surprised how little comes up when you search how to animate fast food metal band with SVG ingredients. Like there's not a lot out there, so we're creating the content that people want is what we're doing here. So
Exactly.
yeah, cool. So we got
All
our
right.
music source connect. I mean, we're skipping the analyzer with this, so we're connecting it right to what?
We're skipping the analyzer. Yep. And then we are now we have to pipe both of these sources out to our destination, which is the user speakers or headphones or whatever.
Cool.
So we will say input gain node, which is our, furthest along the line in the chain, dot connect. And we will pass in audio CTX dot destination.
Like that.
Cool. Exactly. And we'll just duplicate that for music gain node as well.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So now hit save.
You know what? Let's set up an event listener on that start stop button so that we can actually start logging out some data and see what we're getting.
Awesome. Start stop button. So
Cool.
where do you want to
we'll
put
just
that?
put that in a knit.
Cool. All right.
Sweet. Add event listeners, click is fine. And we'll just pass in, we'll make a function called on start stop.
You want to make that out here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Is console log for now?
This could be an anonymous function as well. It doesn't really matter, but it's nice to have it separate. Cool. Perfect.
Cool. Let's pull up the console that's built in to CodePen. That might be okay for now. I don't know. We'll see. I'll clear this and see what happens.
Yeah, it's all good.
That's disabled, I think. Yeah. Should we?
That?
Do you want to undisable?
I don't think we even
enable
need.
it.
I don't think we even need the disabled attribute, to be honest. I had it in there initially because I was like waiting for the samples to load and then enabling the button once that happened. But
got it.
That's fine. Okay,
not
so
getting a
getting
click.
anything?
Did I screw up the? I must have screwed up something.
Start stop button.
So start stop button, document.query selector, start stop, right?
Okay, that's good.
That looks okay. Let's just log out to make sure.
Oh, we may never be calling a knit.
We are not. I don't think we are. Yeah.
Let's pop that at the end of load samples if we're not already.
Are we calling anything?
Oh, that's what it is. That's the problem. We're not calling load samples.
Calling load samples. So do we want this at the very bottom?
Yeah, I think
there we go.
There,
it's commented out. Yeah, cool.
There we go.
That makes sense. All right, awesome. So now that should load. Cool. Yep, starts that. Nice. So that
Wonderful.
is the button works.
Okay. So we'll set up some stuff in here, and then hopefully we'll be done with the audio portion of this. But we're going to use that playing variable that we declared earlier just to
In the let,
nothing,
yeah.
or maybe we declared it to false. I don't remember.
No, it's
but
just on the let.
okay, cool. So then just in here, we'll just have an if statement when we click the start stop, and I'll just say if playing and else. And then in the, yeah, perfect.
Cool.
And in playing, so this means that it is currently playing. So when we click, we want it to stop, right?
Got it.
So we'll be targeting the input L and the music L, each of those, and we will just call .pause on both of them. And this stuff should be relatively familiar. Like this is just your standard HTML media element. Like just like on a video, you can hit play, you can do pause, whatever. These are those same methods.
It's like that.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And then we will say playing is equal to false. Yeah. Just at the end of that. Yeah. Cool. Okay, cool. There's a couple more things we'll do, but we're not going to address that until we get to animating.
Okay.
So in the else, we are. This is this is where it gets a little complicated, but
okay.
And just from like a wrapping your mind around it perspective. So the two tracks start at exactly the same time, right?
Right.
The problem is when one headbangs, as you do,
as one does,
you headbang on the downbeat, right?
Okay. Thank you for teaching me that, because I don't know. I'm not a dancer. This is not. Yeah, I'm not on TikTok like that for that reason. So on the downbeat, got it.
Right. So as it stands now, if you want to maybe go back to that slide of the automation, when I exported this, I took the music track and scooted it all the way to the beginning, just so that when we do a loop on these things, they will loop seamlessly, if that makes sense.
Got it. Yeah.
But for the purpose of this visualization, I scooched the music over by half of a beat so that the down part of the animation happens on the beat. Exactly.
Got it.
So currently that gap doesn't exist. So if we were to animate this, our people would be at their
they'd be off
down spot on the upbeat of the thing, which would look super sort of, I mean, it would be in sync, but it wouldn't be right.
Right.
So we need to, we made that variable earlier, music start offset. Yeah. We need to actually define that now. And what we're going to do is figure out the number of beats that our audio sample has, and then multiply that by 2, and then just take 1 of whatever that result is. That will give us like the duration of half of a beat, and then we're just going to offset.
Okay, I'm following your lead here, because I don't know music, so
totally
happy to learn this.
So, okay, so we'll just say music start offset. Yeah, I just wanted to explain it before we start like coding things that make no sense.
I appreciate it.
Music L dot duration. This will give us a value in seconds. Okay. And we're going to divide this by beat offset, which I can't remember if we defined this. I don't think we did yet.
No. Should I put it here in the let?
Yeah. So next to, these can be consts, actually. It doesn't really matter. We're going to set up a few variables here, and we will define them from the get-go. First variable we need.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We can't. We got it. Okay, sorry. I just heard what you said. Just understood what you were saying. Oh,
sorry. Yeah, there's a little delay, isn't there?
No, it was completely a delay in my brain. It was not a delay across the wire.
No. Those are great. Exactly how you have it. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Got it. I was just saying, so we can take off that beat offset one.
Okay, cool.
That we just added. Yeah, and let's just make a new line and define we're going to define 3 new consts. The first one is going to be, or 4, It's going to be num beats, like number of beats,
Yeah.
and that will be equal to 32.
Cool.
And this is just manual, like I counted the number of beats in the thing, right?
Makes sense.
And then beat offset, very cleverly capitalized this one. And that will equal num beats times 2.
Okay.
And just bear with us here if this
Yeah.
isn't making sense. Okay, cool. You know what? Let's leave it at that for now. We'll go back to our function that we started writing, our play pause, and then we're gonna set. Oh, we've already done it. Music start offset is going to be the duration divided by beat offset. So beat offset is 64 under the hood because it's beats times 2.
Yep.
So we're saying, okay, the duration of that track divided into 64 pieces, that will give us the seconds duration of a half of a beat.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so. So it's 64 milliseconds or what?
Seconds, just normal seconds.
64
Oh, sorry. Duration divided by 64 beats gives us whatever it may be.
Okay,
like
so there's 64 beats
seconds.
in the whole track. So say the track is 30 seconds. There's 64 beats in those 30 seconds or whatever, right? So then we're pulling. Okay, so we're trying to find out how much time from when I hit play until the very first beat is what we're trying to figure out, right?
Exactly.
And so we're just chopping up that like 30 seconds or whatever into a bunch of beats. And since that's 64, we're looking for what's 1/64th of the 30 seconds or the duration of the track to find that beat.
Very well put. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That makes complete sense to me. Cool.
Cool.
All right.
And that, and then so just to explain that a little further, our input, our horrible noise, starts at 0 mark, and our music is going to start at 1, let's call it beats worth of time after that.
Cool.
To match up with the visualization we were showing earlier.
Makes sense.
Okay, cool. So music start offset, great. So that value that we get is in seconds, and we need it to be in milliseconds because we're going to schedule this just with a good old fashioned set timeout.
Love it.
So let's just, at the end of that line, let's just multiply it by 1,000, and that gets us milliseconds, right?
Awesome. Yep.
Perfect. Cool. Now we just have to call play on our elements. So
hold on one sec. Sorry. Do we have a music? I should do a const here with that.
No, we already defined it at the top.
I think we did. I'm getting yelled at, or that might have been old. That might be an old error.
There's one right there on line 31.
31. Oh, there it is. Music start offset. Is that it? Music start offset. Yep, cool. Just making sure.
It might have been an old error.
Yeah, it might be. Cool. All right. So from there,
Sweet.
We got that. Now we want to play.
Great. Yeah. And so our input 1, like I said, starts at 0. So we'll just input L.play.
Cool. But our music L.
Our music L, we need to wrap this thing in a set timeout because we want it to wait start offset amount of milliseconds before it plays.
Now that takes function, right? And then it goes with the music start offset, right?
Exactly. And then inside that function, if you wanted to, you could even make this a fancy one-liner. It's just music L.play. Sorry, in that anonymous function you had.
We could probably do this though, right?
I tried it and it didn't work, but it should be able to.
Let's just stick with what worked. Music L.play. Cool.
Perfect.
All right. So on start stop. So if we hit the start button, that should theoretically play this now, right? Or are we not piping it out to our? No. We are. This is audio CTX is my speakers, right?
So this dot destination is your speakers. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Speakers. So this should now kick this off and play, right?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, chat. Let's see what we got. I'm expecting some hooray emojis or some sad emojis to rain down on us no matter what happens here, okay? Emoji appropriately. Let's see. All right, we're not getting anything. At least I'm not hear anything. Let's just make sure we get on start stop as a
Oh, you know what we didn't do is we didn't set playing to true at the end of our else. So playing false is always getting caught here.
Oh, good call. Good call. Thank you, El Suxo. You nailed it. The sad eye confetti is perfect. Just love it. Just the combination of confetti and tears is just funny to me. All right. Playing true. No. So if playing, which we're not else, so we shouldn't be playing, right? Playing should be false. Or playing is null, so it should be set regardless. We did call this. Input L. Let's just
one more thing it could be is that the browser requires like a user interaction.
Yeah. Well,
before actually playing anything,
clicking that button should be it.
Know
though.
that's the
that
problem
should be
here.
it. And they usually does console log that. So
there is a way of kind of forcing that though. You may see if you open up your Chrome console, it probably gave you a warning saying could not start the audio context. So because we're instantiating that before.
Yep. After a user gesture
before we've
actually.
So there's a way around that.
Okay.
And what you can do is in our else clause for this play stop whatever. The first thing you can do in there is just say audio ctx dot resume.
In here.
Mm-hmm.
In the else,
the very start of the else.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and we want that at the top.
Yeah, let's see if that fixes it.
Cool. Let's see. Just hit save. See how this goes. Do I just want to put this in first 1? Let's see what's getting called here. This is 2. So let's see where we're hitting. All right, cool. Chat emoji appropriately. Andy doesn't know, but it is working. I could have been liking them this whole time, saying, "Oh, sorry, man, it's not working. This doesn't work." Awesome.
Yeah, it's tough. I guess this is a little bit of uncharted territory, right? When like the streamer has to hear the audio. I guess you did it with Steve Gardner.
Yeah, now that I think about it, Steve might have been flying without that sound. I don't know. Steve is the one, by the way, that threw up the first confetti. So perfectly done. Tony, thank you for being here. Take care. Awesome. So we've got music coming through, and it's piping through an analyzer, but we're not using that value yet. So it's looking good. So now we want to take the value that we're getting from this horrible noise MP3 or whatever, and pipe that into GreenSock. So we want to take what we're getting from that and actually put it to use in a GreenSock animation. How do we do that? How do we go about that?
That's exactly right. Okay, so I can't remember if on this starter, did I set up a render function?
You have a render loop. Yes.
Okay,
if
perfect.
Playing. Yeah.
So as our sort of last step in the audio analyzer step, let's just, before that, if playing request animation frame, let's just update our data. So we talked about we talked about how we have to re-get the frequency data every frame, right?
Okay.
So in our render, we're gonna do that same line that we did earlier in the setup, where we say analyzer dot get byte frequency data.
Analyzer dot get byte frequency data. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in the render. Is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just in here.
Yeah.
Give your face a wave because you got something. Oh. Yeah, there you go. Cool. That should be good. Just yeah.
Got a little schmutz on my face.
Exactly. It's the equivalent of like you got something here, but it's just like the computer has something there. So yeah, cool. All right. So I'm sorry. I forgot everything you told me. Well, what am I putting there?
That is all good. So yeah. So before that line, the if playing request animation frame, we will pop in analyzer dot get byte frequency data.
Sorry about that, man. If it gets really bad, we can hop over to like a Discord call or something. But I think
It's
we're
all
okay.
good.
All right, get by
These
frequency
people have seen
data.
enough of my face. Okay, cool. So perfect. And then let's define a variable here. We'll just say const time.
Above it or below.
Below
Okay,
it.
cool. Got it.
Okay, and we will just say that is equal to data array at index 0.
Data array 0. Got it. Cool. Yeah,
Cool.
I'm sorry, man.
And sorry,
I'm
that's okay.
I'm gonna make sure it's not my internet. I'm gonna try to prioritize this computer real quick in Google Home. I think I might have said it before, but Google Home
I
has
have a
this.
really hacky setup, man. I'm using a GoPro as a webcam, so that may also have
Got it.
something to do with
That
it.
might be it. Let me just real quick set this priority device to
I feel like I should
power.
lean into the glitch. Yeah, it's metal. It's metal AF to be glitched
It
out.
definitely is metal. I feel like yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool. All right. All right. We got time. Data array 0. Got it.
Sweet. And then I forgot, sorry, that line right above, we need to pass data array into that get byte frequency
Got
data.
it. Cool. So this is
Sweet.
going to get the frequency from the data array. What's data array? Where
Data array is our typed array.
Got it. Yes, that's the thing that you explained where we're all like, sure, okay, yeah, got it. But it's basically figuring out the frequency, giving us some kind of a value from the frequency of the of what's being passed to the analyzer. So we're only passing this second thing to the analyzer. The analyzer is then giving us this frequency bin count, and we're using this because this is a fast. It's faster than just any kind of a variable. So then we're passing the data array into this get byte frequency data. So we're kind of coming back and looping it back around and using a function that's on the analyzer.
This mutates the data array essentially and
Cool.
gives us just a bunch of new values.
Awesome.
So it's a little weird when I first learned about this. I was like, that seems a little dirty to like change all the values in data array, but that's how this works. And so now that data array variable is up to date. So when we access 0, the first frequency in that array is what we are assigning to time.
Awesome. Okay, so and time is not actually time, but it's the percentage of the timeline that we want the person or the character to be in, correct?
Exactly. Cool. And right now that is going to be like some weird number. It's going to be like, something from 0 to 255 because these so what we'll do is we'll use some green sock utility functions to normalize that into a 0 to 1 range.
Awesome. Hey, Steph.
Cool.
Welcome.
So if you...
Sorry, I just want to say hi to Steph.
Hey.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
Absolutely. So if you want, you can console log time, cool. And we probably need to run render in our at the end of our play function as well.
Yeah, I think so. So here.
Yeah, right after playing is fine.
Cool. And does it check to see if we're playing, or is it going to? Yeah. Okay, cool. So it's gonna log time once we click it. Will this get called recursively? Like, is this gonna get called over and over again?
It will if playing is true, then it will get called.
Ah, there it is. There's the recursive call. Cool.
And let's maybe save before we hit. Okay, all good.
I totally listened to you. You can't hear the music, right? See, I didn't click it. I didn't. Chat, don't tell him.
I honestly, I was like tearing my hair out because my CodePen window kept crashing every time I tried to log something out, and it was because I was doing just like ridiculous amounts of logs.
Got it.
This is likely fine, but
that ran really well. All right, cool. So we're seeing all these values. So chat, that's the 0 index of the data array that we're logging out, and we're seeing that it's kind of going between like 140, 130, and 200 basically, right? Like it's kind of almost maxing out at 200. So
yeah, so I did a little preliminary work and figured out exactly where it was maxing and minning out at. So I can explain how I did that if you want, but for now, I'm just going to have you set consts at the top, like min value and max value.
Sounds good. And Anywhere, I
Let's
guess.
do it. Yeah, I mean, let's keep it next to beat offset. Yeah.
Cool.
And that's 194.
94 is the min.
Yep. And then, oh, sorry. Nope, you're right, Mac.
Okay, cool. It's like, that sounds high.
And then the min is 133.
Cool.
And the way I figured that out was just like in this loop, I declared a variable and did like a math.min and a math.max to constantly update that variable, and just whatever it ended up being in the end was what I've gone with for these values. So like if you were to use a different frequency or a different audio file, your mileage will 100% vary. Like you
Got
need
it.
to figure out what those values are.
I mean, I've got some data to the contrary, Andrew. I'm seeing a 132
Oh,
here. I'm gonna,
Ooh,
I've got the keyboard, so I'm gonna override that.
controversial.
Yeah. I don't have a fancy function, but I do have a pair of eyeballs, and I see a 132.
Yeah, that might be a result of this morning's
Different computers or
refactor.
something, or just some weirdness. Anyway, so we've got that. We're getting this
All
number
right,
out.
cool.
So
And then let me just check. Are we importing GSAP here?
we are
I know I'm
not.
not.
Or
I think it might be in the
still
pen
be in here.
detail.
Yeah, so we've got GSAP already imported. And Chad, if you're not familiar how to do that in CodePen, just GSAP. You go ahead and click that, and it will add it right here to your packages, and you can save and close. And it's essentially the same as typing import GSAP at the top of something, or npm installing it if you're using something like.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
If we wanted to use SkyPack to do an import statement, we totally could.
Yeah.
Okay, so GSAP GreenSock has some utility functions which we're going to make use of. So right below that min gain max gain thing that we declared at the top.
Yeah. Right here.
Yep. Yeah. We're going to normalize that here, or more accurately, we're going to create a function that will normalize whatever it's given based on these two things.
Okay.
So normalize, perfect, equals, that's going to be our function name is constant normalize, equals gsap.utils.normalize. And this takes two parameters. We'll put min value and max value.
Cool.
So there are kind of two ways that okay, that error is old. There are kind of two ways that this normalize function works. This is the latter of the two, in which it returns a function rather than returning a value, because we're going to use this in our frame to normalize based on those two things.
Awesome.
So in render now, where you're declaring time, we can keep that line, but we'll say time equals normalize, pass in data array.
Oh, okay, got it.
You could stick that all on the same line. Yeah.
Got it. That makes sense. So
Normalize.
we're passing in data array 0, right?
Yes, and normalize is the American spelling.
I think I did a Z. Yeah. I just spelled it.
No, sorry, I was
No. It's all good. Yeah. Cool. Yep. Normalize. There we go.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Forgot we were referencing variables we made. It can be whatever you want.
Cool.
Okay, so if we try console logging time now, we should have a value somewhere in the vicinity of 0 to 1. We might get some negatives and stuff, but it's okay.
Cool. Let's see what we get. Waiting for it to build. There we go. Okay, so we have between 0 and 1, basically. Nice.
Amazing.
And that is what we want for animating. Sweet. And if we kind of stop and go back, we can see it kind of goes from pretty low down, close to 0, all the way up to 1, and then starts to dip back down again. Very nice. Cool.
Yeah, so we're finally getting somewhere.
It's all good.
And you can see when it kind of ramped up at the beginning, there were negative values in our time, but and we could like write a clamp function. Maybe GreenSock even has a clamp function.
It does.
It does. Yeah.
It's got some great utilities.
It really does. Yeah. From what I've gathered, it's not necessary. Like it doesn't affect. These negative numbers don't affect anything for us.
Sounds good. Cool. So now can we use this to animate one of these guys?
We absolutely can.
Cool.
So we have 15 minutes left. Let's make a sweet animation.
Love it. And
So,
just
yeah,
letting you know, happy to kind of paste some in and then talk through it, just to like it. Don't
that
feel like
might be
we have to
better.
go line by line. I would rather like talk through maybe a block of code and kind of analyze it.
Okay. Can I send that to you via Discord? Is
Hit
that a
me in
thing?
Discord. Yeah, yeah.
Sweet. I'll do it in chunks.
Sounds good. The triple backticks work there as well.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Man, I am such a Discord noob. There you are.
All good.
Okay, there he is. Test.
Don't let anyone do
go.
like the password thing on. Yep, that's me. Cool.
This is our first chunk. Let me know if you get that.
Yep, got it. So const band ease is none. I think we already had that in there, so I'm going to put this.
Do we?
Let's see. No,
You can slap it all at the top of the file.
It was just the band ease thing. Oh, so we want to animation setup. Cool. Yep. So we've got drink here now, and so this is
Awesome.
the animation for drink. So you can go ahead and paste
So
me the
this
rest,
is
this
is the initial. I kind of want to run through this.
Let's do it.
And maybe let's hide the burger and fries and make with CSS.
Perfect.
And make the SVG a lot larger so that we can just so that our drink is front and center.
Sounds good. Just trying to, wasn't able to, there we go. Cool. So we're doing drinks. We want to hide burger, right?
Yeah.
And fries. Cool.
And then the SVG, we can be really hacky about this. Let's just try and make it quite a bit bigger so that we can see our code and our shake nice and large. Maybe like SVG width is 200% or something.
Okay, here we go, with 200. Cool.
And then maybe let's just, okay, perfect.
Perfect. Good idea.
Hopefully the CodePen refresh doesn't mess with your scroll position.
It might, but it's okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so what we're doing, this first gigantic chunk of code just sets some defaults to each of these things that I've like grouped within the SVG. So you can see it's kind of like a weird, almost like a BEM style of naming that I've set up here.
Makes sense.
Except using IDs, which, whatever. Okay. So the first thing is, drink body. And what we want to do is just set that transform origin to, and you can totally do this in CSS, but we're setting that transform origin to sort of the bottom center-ish of that shake. So any animations that we do on drink body are going to sort of be anchored at that bottom center point, right?
Makes sense.
Like maybe he
so
goes
like
back
around here-ish,
yeah.
Right? Like kind of like there. I think it would be 45,
exactly.
Cool.
And so really every single one of these lines are that just sort of setting the transform origin, maybe setting some scale and some rotation just to have like a starting point. But if you, just so you guys can see, maybe let's take like drink I right upper.
Drink
line 16.
I got it, right upper. Got it.
And in that variables object, let's just add another one. Let's add rotate, like, I don't even know, like -20.
Yeah. Oh, so the I upper is essentially a gray, like it's the eyelid.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a stroke that I've just put enough gray fill under to sort of mask out the eye that it's animating on top of.
Let's see if that will
work.
That
makes sense.
That will not work. Okay.
I'm wondering,
I thought fill red might show us the thing, but no. It might not.
Oh, it wouldn't, because that target is a group, not a path.
Got it. Okay.
But you could certainly hard code that into the SVG if you wanted.
Just wasn't sure if I'd be able to quickly kind of show them what that shape is.
Try inspecting that. Like if you just right click the eyelid.
Inspect. Let's see.
And just see if we can get a.
Yeah. So you can kind of see as a fill. If you go.
We'll just set fill to something else.
Yeah. So there's the eyelid, right? So that's that
And you can
That's
see how
really
messy
cool.
my fill
It
drawing is.
doesn't, but it doesn't need to be because it's all about like,
Yeah,
animating
exactly.
it and hiding that stuff. That's awesome. So cool. Makes a lot of
Yes.
sense. That's a really
Cool.
clever
So
trick. All right,
our
gonna get rid of that
shape
rotate.
shake has a bit of a
Yeah.
lazy eye. It's all good. So the idea is that as part of the animation, when the shake head bangs down, the eyes are gonna sort of, shut as though they're like struggling or squinting or just being really badass.
Give me one sec. Push up the chat. Thanks. Cool. All right. Appreciate you,
Uh-oh.
Tanner and El Suxo. Thank you so much for pushing that up. Yeah. So there's just the chat doesn't get deleted out of my on-screen chat. So just like to push it up.
Oh,
Awesome.
I
So
thought
yeah,
we had some undesirables that we had to ban or something.
that's what Nuha did. Thank you, Nuha, for being on that. I appreciate it. I was not looking. So appreciate you
Oh,
being here.
nice.
Cool. So we got our transform origins. Let's we got about 10 minutes. Let's get some animations in.
Okay, we got this. So here is the next big old chunk.
Cool.
Horse. I just not understanding why I can't directly see your thing. There it is. Thank you.
Yep. Triple ticks. Yeah, do the triple ticks or else it comes in funky formatted. It
So
might.
I've done the triple ticks, but it's not. Oh, did work.
There we go.
Okay.
That worked. Cool. All right. So we got drink timeline. All right. Nice. So we've got a constring timeline is a GSAP timeline. And we're using a default of band ease, which is no ease, because the ease would like if you chat have ever done like you do an animation and you do like an ease or an ease in or an ease out or ease in out, it slows it down either when it starts or when it stops, right? You don't want that here. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I think GSAP's default is, well, I don't know what it is, but there is some default. Maybe
Yeah.
it's like power zero dot in out or whatever.
Like that.
Maybe we just want it to set it to none or
none.
linear.
Cool.
And the reason we're setting that in a variable is because we're going to have 3 timelines. There's going to be, for burger, fries, and drink.
Yep.
And it's just easier. If we want to tweak that in the future, we can. So cool. So yeah, I mean, really, like there's our timeline instantiation, and then we're just adding all of these little tweens to that timeline. And so you can see that the first parameter to a tween is the element itself. Second parameter is what you want it to tween to.
Right.
And the third parameter is the starting position in the timeline. So everything here, we want it to start at 0.
Got it. So we're using timelines, even though, Tanner says default ease is power 1 out. Cool. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. So usually with timelines, you use those because you want to do one after another, but we want these all to happen at the same time. And this.
So the reason, Alex, I'm using a timeline is because if you remember, I don't know how many people in the chat saw this, but Cassie's component carousel, where she used a timeline and then used that input to tween the progress back and forth. Yeah, there it is. So that entire thing is encapsulated in a timeline,
right?
And she's actually tweening the progress of that timeline. So we do need it to be a timeline.
Yeah.
For that same reason.
That's cool. It's just not how you usually think about timelines. So it's awesome. Cool.
100%,
so how do we
almost,
animate this?
Okay.
Now?
So let's just so you can see the animation before we link it up in where we're defining the timeline. We can take off paused true, maybe just comment it out, and then perfect. And then we'll add a couple of things. We'll just say yo-yo equals true.
Nice.
Which is going to make it go back and forth. And we'll say repeat equals -1, which means it will repeat infinitely.
And with that load, we should see the animation.
Oh, yeah.
Super, super cool. So nice. Jedediah came perfect timing with that. Awesome. Had some nice.
That one queued up, didn't you?
Yeah, fast food confetti. Love it. Nice. Yeah. So this is what they're going to be rocking out to on the beat. So right now it's just going back and forth. It's just yo-yoing through it kind of at the default duration and everything. But when we go back to it being paused, we're going to wire that up instead to run from that the audio input, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right. So
It just sent you a whole ton more.
oh, cool,
And this
cool.
is the setup and timeline for the drink and the burger.
All right, nice. So we're gonna pull those in. Let's see. So that was the drink. So you sent me the fries, burger. Awesome, perfect. All right, nice.
Sweet. And we can, same thing. We can just, if you want to see the animation up front, so
I-
everybody's doing their thing.
Let's work towards just getting it tied up to the music so that people can see that, and then they
Fair
can
enough.
see the animations with that if that's cool.
Okay.
I just want
Should
to
we,
make sure we have enough time for that.
Yeah. Let's remove all those display nuns then, since we
just got this.
don't need them.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
There they are.
So is this happening down in the render function, or is it happening somewhere else?
It is happening down in the render, yeah. So time. So we just want to tween the three of our timeline, or update the progress of the three of our timelines. So
Cool.
we've got those three variables: drink timeline, fries timeline, and burger timeline.
Okay.
And we will just, on each of those, we'll call dot progress.
Perfect. Yeah. So we set these here. Got it. Awesome. So drink timeline, burger timeline dot progress.
And we'll just pass the time, which
Awesome.
is, again, that's a value between 0 and 1.
Cool. So then drink timeline dot progress time, and then fries. Cool. So now, is this?
This might be it, Alex.
This might be it. Like we might be able to hit the play thing, and it does the thing.
I'm sure we're forgetting something, but
I'm sure.
let's give it a
But
shot and see
chat's
what
gonna give
happens.
us sad emoji confetti if we do, or or neutral face. Maybe they're fine with it. Chat. I'm not gonna tell you how to feel.
Would
Right.
you do me a favor though and just refresh just to make sure we have all of our crap cleared out and
That's
fresh
a good call.
slate?
Good call. I
Yeah.
saved and I refreshed.
Excellent.
I'm gonna give it a second to make sure it's all like loaded in and everything. I'm clicking around to make sure that the audio thing is happy with me and it's not gonna yell at me. Let's see what we got, chat. Chat, look at this.
Judging by your face that it's okay?
Yes, it is making noise and it is animating on the beat. It's so good.
Oh, that's unreal. So we're not hearing any weird like out of sync issues?
Chad, I would say they're rocking on beat. Would you agree? Look at that. I think it's absolutely on beat. Like I'm not good with music or dancing or anything, but it looks to me like they're coming down exactly as they need to.
That is excellent news.
So cool.
To be honest, I didn't test the looping, so
You were making it up the whole time. You didn't prepare any of this. No.
As a warning, if this thing totally breaks or freaks out,
No, on
when
the
the loop
loop,
happens,
it's still perfect.
then-
Do you have like a finished one that you want to publish that I can drop on chat, or?
yeah, I mean it's exactly the same as this.
Yeah, but this one's mine, and I don't want to like, I don't want the one that everyone
Sure.
that everyone gets and shares around to be mine. I want it to be yours. So I just want to make
Yeah,
sure
yeah, fair
that
enough.
if you've got that, drop that on me, because
So I think the caveat on that is that there is no proper loading of these samples. Like right now, it's just waiting or not
Yep.
waiting for anything.
yeah. Do you want to make this one public real quick?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry, no, it's all good. I just want to make sure that people walk away being able to tweet this out, share this out, or whatever, because it's so cool.
There
And
we
they
go.
stop. Yeah, and they're doing that on the beat.
It goes back to the beginning when we hit stop, just because that was just easier to deal with.
This one might not, just because we aren't doing that.
Oh, you're right, Alex.
Yeah, so I
So
think
here,
it
let's
just pauses right where we are.
You know what? Let's remedy that though. Here, I'm just gonna give you a little
Let me
snippet.
just make sure that that one's still. Yes, that is public. Cool. So really, it's either that one or this one, chat. But they both work. They both work. Yeah. It's so
And
yeah. So
there we go.
just in case you came in late, chat. Andy drew all of these. He made the music with his band. So like this is his music, and then we just animated it in code. So like if you talk about like multi-talented, this is absolutely the definition
Aw.
of it. Seriously, like it's incredible how much you brought to this.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, seriously. Where's this timeout going?
Okay, so yeah, I just sent you the little snippet of code.
Yep.
So in our start
Else.
stop callback
Got it. So playing
in
false
the
in here. Is
yeah,
that
so we can remove that playing false that we had.
cool? I can remove the
So what this
console
is
log
going to
one.
do is it really like the beef of it, no pun intended, is that it sets the current time. Yeah, right. It sets each of those sources' current time back to 0 after it pauses. But the reason it's in a timeout is just so that when we do hit pause, that frequency is going to kind of die down. And we just want to give it a few hundred milliseconds of time for those guys to animate back into place so we don't get like a quick jump.
So let's see. Kitchen. Yep, there we go. So I'm
Yeah.
hitting pause just as they're down because I know that they've got to come back up. So yep, and they just all revert back up. So cool.
Yeah.
Tanner says, Andy, that's so awesome. You drew those and brought it all to life. Absolutely incredible. Totally agree.
Thanks, Tanner.
Bring the beef back. Don't forget to let us know about the public code pen link. Yeah, I posted it up above, but if that was just you trying to do a pun, that's awesome too. But yeah, that is the public code pen link right there. But I enjoy that pun regardless, Tanner, and I appreciate you. This was so awesome. Is there anything else that you wanted to kind of point out or touch on? Let me just make sure that yeah. So here it is. This is the. I'm gonna give this a triple heart real quick.
Ooh, nice. Thanks.
The coveted triple heart. I only give that out
I
to
could use a lot of those.
every pen I see. So you know it's no, this is incredible.
Yeah, I think we're good, honestly. The like I was saying, like the sort of caveat on this one is that there is no loading listener for these audio elements. So
you did have one, but
that.
during the refactor, you kind of had to like ship it
Exactly.
back. Yeah, so chat like he had it working this morning. All on his machine, had some loading stuff in there, had a couple cool things, had to pare it back for this. Still was able to pull this off, even though as of like 2 hours ago, this wasn't working on any machine but his. But he was able to get it together, and this was like a flawless thing, man. So
Yeah,
even
and big
even
shout
more
out to my
kudos.
people at We the Collective for allowing me the time to spend this morning fixing this thing.
Yeah, that's
It's always
super
nice
awesome.
to not have to make a fool of yourself.
Supportive group.
So
yeah.
yeah.
My friend Zach in the chat says, "What about a link to his music? If that's around."
Geez.
Yeah. So drop that.
Yeah. I'll shoot you
And
something.
yeah. So Andrew Rubin got his code pen right here. Personal website. I don't know if I've ever been to your personal website. It links to this. That's why. Okay. That's quite recursive, my friend, where the only link on your code pen is a link to your code pen, but secret.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no.
Okay. I just sent you that. This, I won't say it's NSFW because it's not, but there may or may not be alcohol consumption.
Okay, so if that's not your thing, chat, don't click that. Okay, yeah. Just real quick. Yeah. So that's flying.
Even better.
That's gonna be that. So even better. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Chat. Thank you so much to the chat for being here. Andrew, huge thanks to you for putting all this together, for teaching me about audio, for dealing with my elementary understanding of it, and just being an awesome coach, helping me to understand what was going on with this, and for bringing fire to this, because this is just such a cool pen, cool idea, excellent execution. Can't thank you enough. Chat,
Thanks,
shower this man with a couple more emojis before we head out. All right. Yeah. Anything else?
Awesome. No, thanks everybody. And I know this was a weird one, but I think it's pretty cool. And
It was
yeah,
super
I'm
dope. It was great.
so grateful that you had me on.
Appreciate it, man. All right, chat. We will see you next week. Go ahead and follow. Make sure you're here for the next Component Carousel. Follow, like, subscribe. I don't know what platform is this anyway. Yeah, make sure you're following. Stick around for the next one. I'll see you later.